She took a deep breath and began to explain. She told him about the memories in the notebook, how they were hers but written by someone else. She told him about the strange dream, where their roles were completely reversed. She told him about the changes she'd noticed in herself this morning, how she was talking less and remembering things better. Her voice grew more tremulous, her face pale in the faint light of her phone screen. Alex listened in silence. When she finished, he didn't answer right away. The prolonged silence made Emily even more anxious. "Alex, are you still there?" "I'm here," he finally said. His voice sounded forcedly calm. "Emily, listen. Maybe you're just stressed. Last night, it was pretty scary. Your imagination might be working overtime. The brain can play strange tricks on us when we're tired or scared. This isn't my imagination." Emily protested, her voice rising slightly. "It's real, Alex. That handwriting. That dream. I don't feel like myself anymore." Another pause. Emily could hear Alex's breathing on the other end. "I had a dream too," he said, his voice so low she had to hold her breath to hear. "You, what did you dream about?" "It was weird," Alex hesitated. "I dreamed we were in the school, but you were very quiet. You just walked beside me, not saying a word. And I couldn't stop talking. I was talking about all sorts of stupid things. About homework. About the weather. I felt so anxious and restless. It was like I was you." Emily's heart seemed to stop. His dream was exactly like hers. But from the other person's perspective, this couldn't be a coincidence. "Alex," she whispered, "what's happening to us?" "I don't know," he admitted, the calmness in his voice finally cracking. "But this isn't normal. That notebook, that room. Something is very wrong." He paused, and Emily could hear him moving around his room. It sounded like he was pacing. "I've been home all day. I've felt so weird. My head's been in the clouds. I've lost my house key 3 times. Forgetfulness. Just like she used to be. Just like the Alex in her dream. We have to go back there," Emily said, her voice full of determination. "Back to the school? No way. Not at night. During the day," she explained. "Tomorrow is Saturday. We can lie to our parents and say we're going to the library. We have to check that room again. We have to find out what's going on." Alex hesitated. The logical part of his straight-a-student brain told him this was a bad idea, that they should stay away from that place. But the undeniable truth of their matching dreams and the changes in both of their behaviors won out over his fear. They couldn't ignore this anymore. "All right," he agreed. 10 in the morning. Meet at the back gate." They exchanged a few more words and hung up. Emily lowered her phone, feeling a slight sense of relief at having shared the burden. But that feeling was quickly replaced by a deeper fear. This mystery was no longer confined within the school walls. It had followed them home, invaded their dreams, and was beginning to change who they were from the inside out. She got out of bed and went to the bathroom. She turned on the light, squinting at the sudden brightness. She looked into the mirror above the sink. It was still her face. Still the messy brown hair, green eyes, and a few freckles on her nose. But there was something different in her eyes. The anxiety and fear she was feeling were not reflected back. Instead, the eyes in the mirror looked back at her with a cool, detached expression and unsettling calmness. It was the gaze of the person who wrote the diary. The gaze of the girl in the dream. Self-doubt began to creep into Emily's mind. Was the girl in the mirror really her? Or was she slowly turning into someone else? She raised her hand, pressing it against the cold glass surface, as if trying to hold on to her true self, but the reflection remained unchanged, just silently watching her, a stranger wearing her own face. 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. The Ohio sky was gray and gloomy. Just like Emily's mood, the wind was still cold, but the daylight had dispelled some of the ghostly fears of the previous night. The school looked disappointingly normal under the weak sun, just an old brick building. Quiet in the weekend stillness, Alex was already waiting at the back gate. Hands in his jacket pockets, his shoulders slightly hunched, he looked tired, with dark circles under his eyes as if he hadn't slept. When Emily approached, he just nodded a coned greeting, with no smile or words. "Are you okay?" Emily asked, her voice unusually low and steady. "I'm not sure," Alex replied, his eyes gazing absently at the fence. "I forgot my wallet this morning. Had to go back home to get it." Emily said nothing, but she registered the information. Forgetfulness. It was happening to him meanwhile. She felt her own mind was surprisingly clear and focused. She observed everything around her with a new clarity. The way the bare branches scratched at the sky, the crack in the sidewalk, the peeling paint on the metal gate. "Let's go in," she said, her voice resolute. She easily found a loose link in the fence where they had slipped through the night before inside the school grounds. Everything was bright, but still exuded a sense of coldness. The wide, empty hallways were devoid of people, their footsteps echoing. Strangely, the rows of gray-blue lockers stood silent like sentinels. There were no distorted shadows or whispers in the wind, but the sense of unease was still there, simmering beneath the surface of normalcy. They didn't talk, just walked straight to the hallway with the mysterious room. As they got closer, Emily's heart began to beat a little faster, not with fear, but with a strange anticipation. The dark wooden door appeared before them, looking completely normal. The 4 rusted padlocks were reattached to the hasp, just as they had first seen them. Everything looked as if nothing had happened last night. It's locked again," Alex said, a hint of relief in his voice. "Maybe we just imagined it. Maybe someone found out and locked it back up." But Emily didn't think so. She knew what they had experienced was real. She stepped up to the door, staring at the locks. A strange feeling flashed through her mind, not quite a memory, but more like an instinct. An unexplainable familiarity. She knew what to do. "Step back," she ordered gently. Alex looked at her, confused, but did as he was told. Emily raised her hand, her fingers gliding over the cold surface of the first lock. She didn't need a key. She spun the dials on the combination lock decisively. Click, click, click. She pulled. The lock sprang open. Alex's jaw dropped in amazement. How did you know the combination?" Emily didn't answer. She didn't know herself. Her hand moved too. The second lock, a key-operated one. She looked at the keyhole, then reached into her jacket pocket and pulled out a paperclip she didn't even remember putting there. With frighteningly proficient movements, she straightened the clip, inserted it into the lock, and turned it gently. After a few seconds, a sharp click sounded. The second lock was open. She continued with the remaining 2 locks, one requiring a specific turning sequence, the other simply jammed and needing a firm tap in the right spot. In less than a minute, all 4 locks were dangling from the hasp. "Emily," Alex stammered, taking a step back. "What the hell is this? How do you know how to do that?" Emily turned to look at him, and for a moment, Alex felt like he was looking at a complete stranger. Her face was impassive, her green eyes showing no emotion. "I don't know," she said truthfully. "I just remembered." She pushed the door open and stepped inside. The daylight from the hallway flooded in, chasing away the darkness, but highlighting the room's age and decay. Dust still hung in the air. The large mirror still stood there, its cloudy surface reflecting their distorted images, but this time, They saw what the darkness had hidden the night before on the brick wall opposite the mirror. A large symbol was carved deep into the plaster. It wasn't a random doodle, but a deliberately created symbol, a spiral. But its coils ran counterclockwise, spiraling inwards in an unnatural way, an inverted spiral. "What is this?" Alex whispered, stepping closer to examine it. Emily was silent, her mind racing, connecting the pieces. The notebook. The dream that changes in their personalities. And now this symbol. As Alex was engrossed in the symbol, he suddenly turned to Emily and asked, "Wait, what did we come in here for again?" Emily looked him straight in the eye. He had forgotten. In that brief moment, he had forgotten why they had risked coming back here. Confusion was plain on his face. Instead of answering, Emily just silently pointed her index finger at the symbol. On the wall, her action was decisive. Without a hint of hesitation, the contrast between them had never been clearer. An increasingly forgetful and anxious Alex, and an increasingly quiet and focused Emily. "Reversal," Emily said, the word escaping her lips naturally. "This symbol means reversal." Alex blinked, as if Emily's words had pulled him out of his confusion. He looked back at the symbol, then at Emily. "Reversal? Like in our dreams?" "It can't be a coincidence," Emily continued, her voice as steady as an analyst's. "This room, the notebook, the symbol, they're all connected to something. An old experiment, maybe." The word experiment seemed to trigger something in Alex's brain. "I've read about it somewhere," he muttered, "about old psychological experiments. About trying to alter or exchange consciousness." The confusion on their faces was now replaced by a new, deeper fear. This wasn't a supernatural phenomenon. It could be the result of a failed scientific experiment. Something that had been left behind in this room, and that they had somehow accidentally reactivated. "We need to know more," Alex said, his determination returning.